You guys see the title, you know why you're here. This next story is a true story. It should be used as an example of what are the possibilities when dating, visiting, or traveling around the world. Watch or listen to this while you're driving, cleaning, on the train, at the gym, or just getting things done. Grab yourself a drink or a snack. This is a story you don't want to miss. Stay until the end. This one is a banger. Here it goes.
I had 10,000 in 500 peso notes. They're gone. She took it. Get out. Get out. You took it. Get out.
Nanguha ko no ka?
Wala man.
Wala.
Call the police. I want the police.
Oh,
Call the police. What? Call the police. I want my 10,000 she took from me. Call the police. You did.
This is your caregiver, sir?
What do you do? What do you mean?
Sir, calm down, sir. Sir, calm down. No.
Get out of here.
No, it's okay.
May.
It's okay, it's okay.
Akong upang gamit.
It's okay.
May.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
Ano
It's
ba
okay.
I'm Sal, 62 years old, Italian American. I was previously married to my wife Elena. Elena was the kind of woman you don't find every day. Italian American, just like me, and she could cook like a damn queen. I'm talking real homemade Italian food. Spaghetti, lasagna, fettuccine, you name it. Her marinara sauce? Forget about it. I'll come home from work and the whole house would smell like garlic, basil, and simmering tomatoes. It hit me like a freight train every time I walked in the door. And you know what? That's a thing you don't realize how much you miss until it's gone. Trust me on that one. But it wasn't just the food, it was everything else. She was always there. She was the glue that held everything together. The house was always clean, laundry done, bills paid on time. We had kids together, and she made sure they grew up with everything they needed, and all while keeping the house running like a well-oiled machine. I'd come home from work, kick back, and she'd always ask how my day was. It was simple, but it was perfect. She was my rock, man. I could count on her for anything, and I took all that for granted. I never thought about leaving her. I didn't even know that was a thing, you know? What I mean, like, I thought we'd grow old together, sit on our porch, watch the grandkids run around, and just keep going through life like that. I didn't realize how rare what we had was, how special it was until I messed it all up. But at that time, I had no clue. I was young and I was dumb. But Elena, she was perfect for me. She was loyal, loving, and damn, she knew how to make a guy feel special. She didn't need to tell me how she loved me every day. I could tell just by the way she looked at me, the way she took care of everything. You ever meet someone who just makes everything feel easy? That was her. It was like she was built for me. We had our problems like any couple. Who doesn't? But man, we made it work. We had that rhythm, that groove where we just knew what the other person needed. Life wasn't perfect, but with her by my side, it felt pretty damn close. But here's the thing. When you're in something for a long time, you start to forget the little things. You stop noticing how much effort someone is putting in, and that's where I screwed up. I got complacent. I didn't appreciate her the way I should have. I didn't realize how much I needed her until she wasn't there anymore. It didn't happen overnight, but it did happen. I wasn't paying attention to what was really going on. I was too busy being me to notice where and what I was about to lose. So here's where everything started to go sideways. Elena, she was everything I could have ever wanted. Loyal, loving, and honest. But somewhere along the way, I got bored. I took her for granted, stopped appreciating the little things that she did, and that's when Heather came into the picture. Heather was a coworker. At first was all harmless, just casual chats after work, maybe a drink here and there, but then she started giving me more attention, complimenting me more, flirting, making me feel special in a way I hadn't felt in a long time. And I ate it up. The more I got from Heather, the more I felt like I was missing something at home. I told myself it wasn't a big deal, just innocent fun, but it wasn't. I started spending more time with Heather, lunches, late night talks, and it turned into something more. Eventually, I found myself in an affair. Before I knew it, I was planning to leave Elena. When I finally sat Elena down to tell her I wanted a divorce, it tore her up. She didn't see it coming. I didn't know how to explain it. I couldn't tell her about Heather. I just said I wasn't happy, which was the truth, but not the whole truth. The look on Elena's face, I'll never forget it, man. It wasn't anger, it was hurt, pure and simple. In that moment, I realized what a massive mistake I was making, but it was too late to take it back. I left thinking I was doing the right thing, but deep down, I knew I had messed everything up. So, after the divorce, I thought I was starting fresh. I left Elena for Heather, thinking she was the answer to all my problems. We'd go out, have fun, flirt, and laugh. I felt like I was living the dream. She was younger, thinner, different. I had no more responsibility, just living for myself. But after a while, things started to feel off. Heather wasn't the woman I thought she was. She got distant. I'd text and sometimes she wouldn't reply for days. When we did hang out, it was like she wasn't really there. I tried to ignore it, making excuses for her behavior. Maybe she was busy, maybe I was overthinking, but deep down, I knew I wasn't the only one on her mind. She wasn't as into me as I was into her. And I couldn't figure out why. At first, I told myself I was just being paranoid, but as time went on, it was harder to deny the truth. One day, I came home to find a note. It was short, simple. I'm done. No explanation, no big emotional goodbye, just I'm done. She was gone. I stood there staring at that stupid note, completely blindsided. Heather had walked out on me just like that. After all the drama I'd caused leaving Elena, I ended up losing Heather too. And honestly, I didn't know which hurt more, getting dumped or realizing I'd been played. She never cared about me the way I thought she did. Looking back, it hit me. I was so busy chasing something new, something exciting, that I didn't stop to think if it was what I really needed. Heather was a distraction. She wasn't the answer. And now, I was left with nothing. It wasn't just that I lost Heather. It was the fact that I had ruined my life. I ruined everything. I thought I was making a fresh start, but all I ended up with was regret and the cold realization that I had pushed away the one person who actually cared about me, Elena. After Heather, I thought I had learned my lesson. I was done with making impulsive decisions. I needed something different, something real. So I did what a lot of guys in my situation might do. I turned to the internet. More specifically, I ended up on a Filipina dating site. And that's when I met Samantha. She was 26, a Filipina, way younger than me, sure, but that was part of the appeal. She seemed sweet, honest, and really interested in me. We started chatting, texting back and forth, getting to know each other. She seemed to hang on to every word I said, and man, I was eating it up. I'm not gonna lie, she made me feel special, like I was the only guy who mattered. That was exactly what I needed after the disaster with Heather. I'm not gonna act like I was naive. I was cautious this time, trying to take things slow. I didn't want to rush into another mess. She told me she wanted a family and have kids. She said she always wanted a Westerner as a husband. I even sent her some gifts here and there, trying to show her that I was serious about making this work. After a few months of online chats, I decided I was ready for the next step. I was going to leave the US and move to the Philippines to be with her. I thought, hey, why not? This could be the fresh start I need. When I arrived in the Philippines, things seemed perfect. Samantha was everything I had imagined. Sweet, attentive, and thrilled to have me there. We spent a lot of time together, going out, exploring, and just enjoying each other's company. I figured I'd hit the jackpot this time. She seemed so caring, so attentive. I thought maybe this is it. Maybe she's the one who'll make me happy. But soon enough, little things started to pop up. She'd be late coming home or not reply to my messages for a few hours. And then I started noticing bigger issues. She'd ask for money here and there for things that didn't really add up. It's for my family, she'd say, or I need it for an emergency. I wasn't entirely comfortable, but I told myself I was just being paranoid. She was from a different culture and country, and I wanted to be supportive, right? Maybe that's how things were done here, I reasoned. But the situation started getting worse. The request for money increased, and I started to feel like I was being taken for granted. The first time I really caught onto something being off was when I noticed that a significant amount of money had gone missing from my wallet. A few pesos. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, so I let that slide. Maybe I misplaced it, I thought. I convinced myself it wasn't a big deal. But then it happened again and again. 4 times. 4 times I found money missing. And each time, Samantha had an excuse. Oh, I didn't realize it was gone, or I must have spent it on something by mistake. And each time I swallowed my doubts and brushed it off. But by the 4th time, I couldn't ignore it any longer. Something was seriously wrong. I confronted her about it. I had to know the truth. Samantha, where's the money going? I asked, trying to stay calm but failing miserably. She looked at me like I had just slapped her in the face. Her response was defensive, like she had done something wrong. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I steal from you? She snapped back at me. The argument that followed was ugly. She accused me of not trusting her, of being paranoid, but I wasn't buying it. The truth was staring me right in the face, but I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to think that this woman, the one I thought I was starting something with, could be lying to me. But after a while, it became clear. Samantha was taking money from me. And the worst part, she didn't even feel guilty about it. It wasn't just the stealing, it was the way she acted like it was my fault for accusing her. The whole situation made me sick to my stomach. Eventually, I had to make a decision. I couldn't keep living like this. I couldn't keep ignoring the fact that Samantha was using me. I kicked her out of my apartment, and that was that. I had made another massive mistake. I thought this would be the real thing, the fresh start, but instead, I was just right back where I started, feeling used, betrayed, and alone. Let me tell you, the whole experience left me jaded. I realized that some things just don't change no matter how hard you try to escape your past. You can't run from your problems, and you can't replace one mistake with another, thinking it'll fix everything. The truth was, I was still looking for something outside myself to make me happy, and it wasn't working. The only thing I had truly learned was that I needed to start looking inward. After everything with Samantha, I've got a warning for anyone thinking about dating someone from a different country. I'm talking to all you passport bros, especially those using dating sites and apps. Don't be blinded by the idea of escape or adventure. There's a lot of quote-unquote love, sure, but there's a lot of manipulation and dishonesty hiding behind those fake smiles. Some people like Samantha will take advantage of your kindness, and at the end of the day, you'll be the one left holding the bag. So learn from me, fellas. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Trust your instincts, and most importantly, if you got something good like I had with Elena, don't screw it up. Sal's story is one of those cautionary tales that hits close to home for a lot of people. It's the classic case of chasing something new, thinking it'll fix all your problems, only to end up in a bigger mess. Leaving Elena for Heather was a huge mistake, but you can see how Sal got caught up in the excitement of something fresh, young, and new. The fact that he admits it was a mistake shows some self-awareness, but the damage was already done. And then with Samantha, he just repeated the same pattern, looking for validation from someone else instead of fixing the issues he had within himself. It sucks to see someone go through the cycle, and you can't help but feel bad for him. He thought he was finding happiness by moving on, but in the end, he was just running away from his own responsibilities. Honestly, I think Sal learned some tough lessons the hard way. I get it. He was searching for something he felt he was missing, but sometimes it's not the relationship. It's about figuring out how to be happy with yourself first before you start trying to make things work with someone else. With that said, guys, make sure to check out my previous video right over here. And send over a story of your own that you'd like to be featured in the next video. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. My name is Roberto, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.